We're going to speak this session about experts, how to leverage experts, what experts are, and also why this is an important component to intuition. So as we talked about in a previous session, we talked about leveraging information and how if we don't have the right information and the amount of information necessary to bridge the gap from where we are and where we want to go, that essentially our unconscious self just isn't able to connect those dots. So leveraging experts is really great for doing two key things. Number one, it can accelerate a way to take in information, qualified information. So as an example, let's say you're going to you want to get in the best shape of your life, and nutrition is a component of that. Instead of going in and researching all of the different things on nutrition, which could take years potentially to master it anyway, if you hired a qualified expert and then asked them for the information in which you required pertinent to the outcome result you wanted to get, you could grab the qualified information from a expert, pay them some money or make a trade or become friends with them, and maybe they're willing to share their expertise with you, and basically grab qualified information from a qualified source called an expert, and you can, instead of taking years to compile the information required to get your outcome and result, you could do it in a matter of 20 minutes. You could do it in 10 minutes. You could do it in an hour if they're willing to support you, or if you find the right expert to leverage. And so you may not be asking to be mentored on being a nutritionist, right? And you may not want this to become your profession, and you may not need to know all the different elements around nutrition and all the variations in which are required there, like somebody who's in their 60s or 70s, right? That advice might look different than if somebody's in their 20s. And let's say you just want to understand, how do I get my body fat to 15%? Or how do I increase endurance for running and for having more energy throughout my day? You can go to a person and say, hey, here's what I want. Here's the outcome result I'm looking to get. What is the best nutrition advice or plan you can give me relative to the outcome or result that I'm looking to achieve? And then you can pay somebody again, or find a way to create an agreement, or maybe you have a friend who's an expert and ask them for this information, and they can give you it in a 20-minute window or in an hour window, as opposed to you taking months or years studying the information to come up with the formula that's going to help you bridge the gap. And so that may not be all of the elements. You might need to go hire an expert in working out. So you make sure you're doing the right training relative to the specific outcome you're looking to create. And again, an expert may know a lot about working out, and when what you need to do to increase energy might be very different than what somebody needs to do if they want to, look like a fitness model and have big muscles, okay, or something like this. And so, having a qualified source who understands what specific information you need, called an expert, can be highly advantageous. And instead of taking a decade or a year to get where you want to go, you could get there in a year or a month, okay? And so think about leveraging experts in this way to basically accelerate your process for, grabbing qualified information. The second way to leverage experts is to leverage your time so that you're spending more time with the elements that are cultivating intuition and a skill set relative to the outcome result you want to get. So another example of leveraging an expert is like, you may have somebody who comes and cleans your home. Or maybe you have an assistant who helps you with laundry or house management things, or helping you with taking the kids to all their activities. So instead of hours in a car, or instead of spending hours cooking or hours cleaning every week, you could hire an expert and support their living, make a contribution to them in their life, while creating maybe 2 hours a week or 4 hours a week. And then you can take that 4 hours a week and absorb qualified information and develop a skill set relative to the outcome result you want to get. And so the second way we can leverage an expert isn't necessarily to grab qualified information from them, but to leverage their skill in a way that is a win-win situation and is obviously fair, and making a contribution to them, and then they're able to make a contribution to you, and it frees up your time so you can leverage your time. Because if you've got 4 hours a week that you're dedicating to cleaning and household chores and grocery shopping as an example, and you can free up that 4 hours a week to where now you're absorbing qualified information and developing skills relative to the outcome and result you want to create, or maybe it just frees up the time so you can do more enjoyable things in your life, and it up-levels your fulfillment and joy quotient. That can be highly, highly advantageous. And so think about the outcome result you want to create, whether it has to do with body health, whether it's finance, whether it's career, whether it's relationship, inner experience, right? Your state, the experience of yourself you want to answer to each day. And where are the experts? Who are the experts maybe I already know, or who are the experts that I might look up or go find, so that I can sort of leverage their talent relative to their skill set and the outcome result I'm looking to create, as an accelerant toward who I want to become and the life I want to live. And so think about, who are the experts I could leverage, that I could either pay them, for their expertise or advice, or maybe you've got a friend where the advice is free and you take them out to dinner, buy them dinner, and you kind of pick their brain for a minute, right? Or maybe you've got an acquaintance that's around, or a friend of a friend, who you could get to know a little bit better, and they're just this sort of mountain of information, right? They're just such a valuable resource in that regard. And don't remember, you don't always have to pay an expert for their information. What I find is when you're genuinely interested in someone and what they do and what their expertise is, and they feel like you're actually listening to them and taking that information and it's bettering the quality of your life, I find a majority of people are not only willing to share, but they're happy to do so, and it provides meaning for them to feel like they're making a difference in your life. And so we've just got to start asking the question, who are there experts I know that could potentially support me relative to the outcome I'm looking to create, and make a little time and put some focused effort toward making sure you surround yourself with the experts necessary relative to who you want to become and the life you want to create. So I hope this is helpful, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next session.